Brothers and sisters, today we are talking about surrendering. Surrendering is considered a very important part in religion, and we want to know how to surrender. But first of all, we want to discuss why it is necessary to surrender. We know that karma is a very important role, plays a very important role in our life. Karma is a never-ending chain. Every action has its equal reaction. And with that, we have chances that karmas are adding every moment. It is not possible to stop us from doing karma. Or we can say that we cannot be actionless, because even thinking is karma. And sometimes with thinking only we add so many karmas that we take many lives to finish those karmas. When we are moving, then many insects are crushed and dies under our feet. And we are killing many bacteria while purifying water. And in this way, every time, every moment, we are adding innumerable karmas. And some are very serious ones. Suppose one is killing one bird every day and eating for the sake of taste, then he is adding such a serious karma that he has to take one life for that. So, to be free from karma, we have to see that we are not the doers of the actions. As army man is working under an army commander, then he is not responsible for the actions. Only commander is considered responsible and he is put in front of the court. Similarly, if we surrender ourselves to God and we are not the doer of some action, then we can be free from its reaction. And the other thing which is responsible to create hindrance in our surrendering is our intelligence. One is intelligence that we use with our own thinking, and one is wisdom which comes from God and which is the perfect one. Intelligence is not perfect, and whatever we are doing with our intelligence, with that we are making mistakes. And when we use our intelligence, we cannot surrender. But when we are not using our intelligence and we surrender ourselves to God and accept divine wisdom, then we can surrender. And this is why it is said that law of Lord is perfect to make the wise simple. That to have communion with God, we have to be free from our intelligence. And it is said that this spiritual knowledge and experience is given to the babies. My master used to say that he has to do double work with the intelligent people. First, he has to make them free of their intelligence, and then he is giving this spiritual knowledge. If we are with our intelligence, we cannot accept Master's guidance. This is why it is said that fool carry the tree of life. Fool is free of his intelligence. Though he is working under guidance and with divine wisdom, but he knows nothing about it. If you ask somebody who says he is accepting divine wisdom, what will be for this action, then he says he does not know. Because divine wisdom is giving at the time when it is needed. Divine wisdom is giving at the time it is needed. As Jesus Christ said, don't think what you have to eat, what you have to speak, because it shall be given to you at the right time. But who is working with divine wisdom, he is not knowing anything before that. And even when he is following divine wisdom, if somebody asks why you are doing that, he is not knowing anything. So it is very necessary that you get rid of your intelligence, you become 100% fool, and you accept what comes at the right time from God. When something comes from inside, then don't start thinking whether it is right or wrong. And the next thing is that we have to stop our mind. Mind is the agent of negative power. We must know what is negative power. What is spiritual, that is all positive power. What is material, that is all negative power. So mind can think of everything in this world which mind has experienced before. So mind can only guide you to the worldly things. And when mind is attaching us to the outer things, then we are naturally going out in this world. When our thinking is going out in this world, then we are away from God, because God is residing inside. Of course, God is living in this world also, but our soul is not capable of contacting God outside in this world. So, mind will always take us away from God. Mind will never allow you to follow and surrender to God. Then it is impossible to follow even the Master. So if you have to decide something, don't think it at the level of mind. Stop thinking inward, and what comes from inside, follow that. Once you think that whether you should do this or not, then it is impossible to do anything, because mind will create hindrance. So if you want to surrender, then never allow mind to interfere in it. And the third thing is, which is helping us in surrendering, is that we know about three attributes of God. That one is He is omnipresent, the second is He is omniscient, and the third is He is omnipotent. That He knows everything, you have not to tell Him. He has the knowledge of everything, what is good and bad. And He can do everything, whatever He likes. There is no limit to His working. When you keep these things in your mind, then you can follow God easily. And the fourth thing is that we should always remember the relation between soul and God. God is our Father. Our soul is part of God. So God cannot do anything which is bad for us. Sometimes they say, oh, God is very cruel, He has done something bad for us. But it is not true. Actually, whatever we are facing bad in this world, it is due to our past karma. It is exactly according to our karma. God cannot increase it. God can only makes us relaxed and help us in bearing that. So when you have firm determination that God is always helping us and is good for us, then it is easy for us to surrender to God. And the sixth is that when we are in difficulty, if we have our attention with God or God-man, then we can surrender. When we take one step towards God-man, then He is coming with 100 steps towards us and helps us. But if we don't take that one step towards Him, He is not going to interfere. We may go on crying, weeping, dancing, singing for His help, but He will not do anything till we are having one step towards God. And one step towards God does not mean that we go out to some place, but we think of Him and it is enough. And in hour of difficulty, if we have confidence in God, then we can surrender Him. This is considered a very important part in every religion. It is said that Islam is the right religion, and it is written in Quran that Islam will prevail in the whole world. Islam means surrendering to God. When it is said that Islam will prevail in the whole world, that means only surrendering will guide us on the spiritual path. In the end, surrendering is the only way in which we can be with God. In Gita also, Lord Krishna gave many ways how one can follow religion. But in the end, He said to Arjuna that you forget religion, you forget karma, you forget everything. Only you surrender and everything is yours. So, when we say Islam, then it means surrendering. That when we surrender, then it is the right religion. Sometimes we think if we surrender, but if we don't get help, what will happen to us? But it is not possible that we don't get help when we are surrendering. But it is said in Bible, knock the door and it shall be opened to you. So it is very necessary that we throw all thoughts out of our mind. We have only one thought, and that is of God. Swami said that you want to have communion with God, but you have filled your heart with hundreds and thousands of desires of the world, then how you can meet Him? But how we can accept all those things which I have mentioned here? In Rig Veda 7:76 says, when we have visions inside, then these are a life support to our soul. This makes us surrender to God. I know after passing away of my master, people were betrayed. They were not knowing where to go and to whom they should follow. Then when some have inner visions, then they were the guiding factors to others. If you have vision of somebody inside, then it is sure sign and you can accept him and you can surrender to him. And when we have vision of some God-man, then he is granting us divine revelations. Some people of us can think that we have never vision, how we can have divine revelations. I may tell you that spirituality is a continuous process, and maybe in your previous life you have finished that part of having vision, and now it is the second part that you are having divine revelation. And he says, Rig Veda says that by giving us divine revelations, he is making us surrender to God. And then he is granting us continuously flowing divine revelations. These continuously flowing divine revelations are to finish all bad thinking, whatever is coming every moment in us. And when you have reached to this stage that you have continuously flowing divine revelations, or you have divine revelations without sitting for meditation, then you can be guided by these points. Then you can accept divine wisdom. Then you can stop mind. Then you can surrender to God. And then you can obey him. Otherwise you go on trying that you will obey God-man, but you cannot, because this mind is creating so much difficulties that our intelligence is always stopping to believe God-man. Sometimes this is the situation even with initiates, that when they are in difficulty, they will think of many ways, but they will not think of master. They will think of every means by which they want to be free from difficulties, but they will not accept this very simple way that they leave it to God-man and the matter is finished. Because then he starts thinking, oh, we should do our things and we should do our duties, not that we are neglecting our duty. But the question is how following our duty or doing things with our intelligence is helping. It is only making us surrender to mind. And mind is putting us in the clutches of negative power and we are lost. So the only way is that we obey God-man. We obey him without if and buts. You don't talk of surrendering, because sometimes people say that we are surrendering, still they want to do what they like. To surrendering, I always say in this way, that you obey God-man without ifs and buts. Sometimes they say that if God-man is doing this for us, then we will obey him. This is not obeying, because then it is mind that we obey mind, that we should get some advantage, then we will follow that. So when we want to follow God-man, we want to obey him, then we are not thinking anything about the matter. Don't put it in the jurisdiction of mind. Mystic Kabir said that if you keep your master in front of you and you obey him, then you will never suffer in this world. Sometimes it is said that we are preordained according to our past karmas. But one other Indian mystic said that if you obey your master, then he is even keeping you safe against your past karmas. And the karmas, we are saved from effect of karmas. So the only way to surrender is that we obey God-man. But then the question is that every time we are not knowing what God-man wants and how we can obey him, because many times we are not in his contact, and many times we are in such situation that we have to decide immediately. So in this way, right way is that you stop thinking and repeat the holy words 5 times, and that which comes from inside, that is the guidance of God. But please don't do like this, that if there is some problem, that first you decide you have to do like this, and then you close your eyes and repeat the words, showing as if you are to get guidance from inside. And because you have taken the decision beforehand, so it is your mind's decision and it is not from God. So when there is problem, then you don't think anything about it. Turn inside and you will get the guidance. And you follow it without ifs and buts. If you are not very sure what it is, then you can close your eyes again and repeat the holy words, then you will get more clear instructions. And I tell you, when you have obeyed, you have done your duty. So you are free from everything. And now it is Master's turn that he has to prove that he is helping you in every matter. Try it and you will find the best help from inside. And you get so much help that you are free from every thinking and troubles. And in the end, then you are drawn up finally, and you have not to come to this earth again in the cycle of life and death. So by surrendering, you are happy in this world and beyond. Thank you very much.